All right, YouTube. We're watching this. POV, you're a foreigner living alone in Tokyo. If I'm being honest, I saw a little snippet on TikTok and I thought it was interesting. Let me know if you guys have any other videos, anything like that. I stream, play games on Twitch. We're watching it on over there. So if you have any recommendations you want to put it in the comments, I do try and read and reply to them. Other than that, let's just get right into it.
You moved to Tokyo because you're running out of reasons to stay where you are. Back home, you've got a degree that qualifies you for jobs that don't pay rent, an ex who moved on
Wait, so you're a bum in the
faster
States,
than your
basically.
Wi-Fi loads, and a family that asks when you're going to get serious about life every time you sit down for dinner. So
Damn,
you do
bro,
what
why we started off so deep for? Why
every
we
lost
pressing?
20-something with a browser and a dream does. You romanticize a country you've never lived in, based entirely on anime, street food reels, and a 30-second clip of someone walking through Shibuya at night with low
Nah, if I'm being honest though, like life in Japan, if you got money, would be beautiful and blessed. But you do get like a foreigner tax, stuff like that. But other than that, other than not being Japanese, I know it's a big part. I don't know, but it is very beautiful.
fi beats playing. You buy a one-way ticket to Narita with $1,100 in your account. A TEFL certificate you
Damn,
got
you're only
online in
leaving
3
with $1,000?
weeks. And the unshakable confidence of someone who has absolutely no idea what's about to happen to them. The plan
Well, with
is simple.
$1,000, I don't think you can do much with that. No, not gonna lie. And you
Teach
get like
English,
paid nothing.
learn Japanese, find yourself, 3 goals, 0 realistic
Nah,
time.
if you, I think, oh, we paused so much. It's only been 50 seconds. But honestly, if I was that in his shoes and I wanted to move there, you have to make money somewhere else and then live in Japan. You know what I mean? You need income coming
Timelines.
into Japan.
Welcome to Tokyo.
You cannot work
Population
there.
14 million. Number of people who care that you just arrived, 0. Your
Also,
first
chat,
night is
isn't Tokyo like the most densely populated city, I guess?
spent
Is
in a
that what it
capsule
is?
hotel near Shinjuku because you couldn't figure out the apartment rental process.
I've never
from
been in these,
overseas.
so.
And the one place that accepted foreigners without a guarantor wanted 6 months upfront plus a non-refundable gift payment to the landlord called key money. You read that term
Key
3
money?
times. Key money. You're paying the landlord a gift for the privilege of giving him rent every month.
Fuck no.
It's like tipping someone before they've served you, except the tip is $2,000 and the service
Jesus.
is a room the size of a parking space. But you don't
2,000?
have a guarantor because you don't know a single human being in this city.
As a gift?
So the capsule hotel it is. You lie in your plastic pod, listening to the man in the pod next to you, snore through what sounds like a deviated septum and a personal
Fuck
vendetta
no.
against
Hey, anybody in the chat, anybody ever stay in one of these capsule thingies? 'Cause
silence.
I
You stare
I
at the
don't know if it
ceiling
looks
4 inches
fun or
from your
not.
nose and think, this is the adventure. After 3 days of paperwork, polite rejections, and Google Translate conversations that made you sound like a malfunctioning robot,
Damn, I'm fucking tired.
you find an apartment. It's in Kita Senju, a neighborhood
Wait, that looks half decent. Like actually.
in the Northeast that the expat forums describe as authentic, which is code for cheap and
Oh,
far
never
from
mind.
anything cool. The apartment is a 1K.
Hey,
which
that's
means
not bad. How much are you paying? How much would you pay for
one
this?
room plus a kitchen that's technically a hallway with a burner. The walls are thin enough to hear your neighbor's TV, his microwave, and what you're
Fuck.
pretty sure is his opinion
Tired.
about a baseball game. The bathroom is a
Shohei
plastic
Ohtani?
cube that combines the shower, sink,
Nah, this right here with a shower, I don't think. Like, guys, realistically, there is no shower. You're gonna shit in the same spot you're gonna be cleaning your ass.
and toilet
I can't do
into
that.
one unit so compact that you can technically do all 3 at the same time if you lost all self-respect. The rent is 65,000 yen a month.
A
which
month, $450? That's actually not bad. Because average rent in my area is like 2.5 right now.
sounds like a lot, until you realize that's about $450 for Tokyo, which makes it the cheapest thing in this city besides tap water and loneliness. You sign the lease, you unpack your one
why am I
suitcase,
yawning so much?
you sit on the floor because there's no furniture, and you can't afford any, you eat a convenience store rice ball and stare at the wall.
Wait, how'd you get your 2 bands? You only moved in with $1,000. What do you mean you have 2 bands for that fucking key concept money? You know what I'm saying? Where do you get this money from?
This is home now.
No way you got that
The
money.
English teaching job is at a conversation school called Bright Future Academy, which is a name
This guy's
so
not even teaching at a
aggressively
real
optimistic
school.
it should be illegal. The school is a factory. You teach 6 classes a day, 45 minutes each, back to back, with students ranging from businessmen who need English for overseas clients to elderly women who just want someone to talk to because their kids stopped visiting. The pay is
Damn,
250,000
that's sad. No, oh my god.
yen a month, which sounds reasonable until you
How
subtract
much is that a
rent,
month?
utilities, train pass, health
Okay.
insurance,
Okay.
residence tax,
Okay.
and the mandatory pension contribution that you will never collect.
So how
because
much
you're
do you
not
have at
staying
the end?
Forever. After deductions, you're left with about
$20 a
90,000
day.
yen for food and everything else. That's roughly $20 a day. In Tokyo, a city where a single melon can cost 50
$20 a day. Yo. How's that gonna feed my fat ass, chat? Oh my
bucks,
god.
and a movie ticket is $18. You learn to eat at Matsuya, a beef bowl chain where 380 yen buys you a hot meal and the dignity of not
Hey,
starving.
that's not
You eat there
bad.
so often that the night shift worker starts preparing your order when he sees you walk in. He doesn't know your name. He just knows your bowl. In this city, that counts as a relationship. The loneliness
That's so
hits around
sad.
week 3. Not
Fuck
the
no.
dramatic, cinematic kind. The quiet kind. The kind that sits next to you on the train and rides with you from Kita Senju to Ikebukuro.
That reminds me. How do you have a social life here? Like, nobody knows who you are. I'm pretty sure you don't know how to speak Japanese like that. And people might just be like, you know, I heard Japan was very workaholic, so like, probably don't have
and
anybody.
back without saying a word. You don't speak
Like
enough Japanese to have
ultra-depression.
real conversations. Your co-workers at the school are friendly, but they clock out and disappear into their own lives.
I
The
would
other
too.
foreign teachers are either lifers who've been here so long they've forgotten what connection feels like, or short-termers
Fuck.
who are leaving in 3 months and don't see the point in bonding. You spend your
Fuck.
evenings in your apartment scrolling through your phone, looking at photos of people back home living lives you chose to leave. Nobody texts you. You text nobody. The time
Damn, why are we having our narrator calling our guy a little bitch?
difference makes it worse. When you're awake, they're sleeping. When they're living, you're working. You exist in a 12-hour gap between your old life and your new one, and neither side can reach the other. Your
That's so
neighbor
sad.
changes everything.
Fuck no.
His name
Neighbor.
is Yamamoto-san. He's in his
Ooh,
60s,
Yamamoto?
retired, lives
Like
alone
Yamamoto, like the pitcher on the Dodgers?
in the apartment next to yours. You meet him in the hallway during your second week. You bow awkwardly and say the only Japanese phrase you've mastered, sumimasen. He looks at you, and instead of the polite avoidance you've gotten from everyone else in the building, he smiles. He says something in Japanese that you don't understand. You
Fuck,
stand
I'm
there
tired.
blinking like a malfunctioning traffic light.
Oh, this is bad, guys. It's 2:30 and I'm like, oh my god.
He laughs, not at you, but with a warmth that you haven't felt since you landed. He disappears into his apartment and comes
Yo,
back with a
fucking
small
W's
plate
in
of
the
homemade
chat for fucking
tamagoyaki,
Yamamoto, bro.
Japanese rolled omelet. He hands it to you and bows. You take it, bow back, and retreat into your apartment, where you eat
Aw.
it standing over the kitchen sink. It's the best thing you've tasted in weeks. Not because of the recipe, but because someone made it for you on purpose. Yamamoto-san becomes your anchor. He starts leaving small things at your door. A bag of mandarins.
What a fucking W, mans! You got miso soup and a mandarin
A
bag?
container of miso soup. A handwritten note in Japanese that you spend 20 minutes translating with
Oh,
an
this
app,
man. Oh
only
my
to
god, this
discover
man.
it says, "Good morning, do your best today." You start knocking on his door in the evenings. Your conversations are 90% gestures and 10% broken language from both sides. He teaches you Japanese words by pointing at things. You teach him English words the same way. Refrigerator, reizuko, window, mado, friend, tomodachi. He repeats the word tomodachi and points at you and then at himself. You feel something cracking
That's so pure. Oh, W Yamamoto in the chat. Oh my
in your
god.
chest that you didn't realize had hardened. Over the next few months, Yamamoto-san becomes the reason this city feels survivable. He introduces you to the neighborhood. He takes you to the local Sentu, the public bathhouse, where old men soak in scalding water and discuss topics you can't follow, but the tone makes you feel included. He brings you to the neighborhood Matsuri, the summer festival,
What's a Matsuri?
where you eat
Never
yakitori
mind, sorry.
and watch kids chase each other with sparklers.
I never really enjoyed yakitori. What about you guys? I've never.
He corrects your
Never.
Japanese with a patience that your actual Japanese
Maybe I just
teacher
never had
at
good
Bright
ones.
Future doesn't have. He tells you, through a combination of hand gestures and dictionary lookups, about his wife who passed away 4 years ago, and his son who lives in Nagoya and calls once a month if Yamamoto is lucky.
Oh no, not Yamamoto too, man. He's such a nice man. Ah! I'm tired. But damn, Yamamoto. Damn.
Tell him about your family back home, about feeling invisible, about the
Did this guy
specific
just leave
loneliness
fully?
of being surrounded by millions of people and known by none of them. He nods like he understands, and you realize loneliness doesn't need a translator. You start building something that almost feels like a life. Your Japanese improves enough to order food without pointing at pictures. You learn the train system so well, you can navigate transfers at Shinjuku Station during rush hour, which is basically a PhD in human fluid dynamics.
Nah, Shinjuku Station chat is actually insane. Like there's so many people just going in out in out. Oh my god! I went once. It looked like literally a rat maze. Like you cannot. It's so hard navigating. And imagine like a group of Asians. Like you're trying to like navigate because you know my family. Holy shit! In that I had got to like translate it from Japanese to English back to Vietnamese. Oh my god.
Find a used furniture store and buy a small table and a floor chair. You hang a cheap poster on your wall. You buy a plant that you name Kenji
got
because naming things
decorations
makes them
now.
yours. Your students start requesting you specifically. The elderly woman named Suzuki-san brings you homemade cookies every Tuesday and tells you your
Fuck yeah,
Japanese accent
W
is charming,
Suzuki.
which
Oh
you
my
know is a
God.
polite lie, but you take the compliment anyway. You develop a routine. Train at 7:30, teach until 6. Beef bowl at Matsuya. Study Japanese on the train home. Knock on Yamamoto-san's door. Sit in his apartment watching baseball games you don't understand, while he explains the rules in Japanese you barely follow. Go home. Sleep.
Nah, eventually, I need to say my thanks to Shohei Ohtani. Oh my god, before, I'm just a basketball head, right? But Shohei Ohtani proved to me that baseball is worth watching. It's actually so fun. But when I watch other games, in low-key, for some reason, it's kind of boring.
Repeat. It's small. It's quiet. But it starts to feel like yours. 8 months in, and you've almost forgotten what running feels like. You apply for a visa renewal. Your school sponsors it. The paperwork is a mountain of forms
Jeez.
that require your employment history, your residence registration, your tax records, and roughly the same amount of documentation you'd need to adopt a child. You submit everything and wait. You tell Yamamoto-san about the renewal over
W.
tea. He
Yamamoto,
smiles
honestly.
and says
this
something
man
you
is
translate
so
later.
pure.
He said he hopes you stay for a long time.
Aww.
You start looking at slightly bigger apartments in the same neighborhood.
How'd you get the money? You only have $20 left every month or every day. Like I know it stacks up, but like you gotta feed yourself.
You can't imagine living anywhere else. You browse furniture you can't afford yet, but might be able to in a few months. You even look
he's,
into community Japanese classes at the ward office. You're not
what's
just
the word?
surviving
What's the word, chat? It's not reminiscing. It's like putting it into existence. I don't know the word.
anymore. You're planning. And planning means you've stopped treating this city as temporary. For the first time since you landed, Tokyo isn't a place you're enduring. It's a place you're choosing. The letter arrives on a
Wow.
Tuesday. Government envelope. You open it, expecting your visa approval. Instead, it's a notice to appear at the Tokyo Regional Immigration Bureau for an interview
What?
regarding your residential status. The language is bureaucratic and cold, but you've learned enough Japanese to understand the critical phrase. Suspected violation of conditions of stay. Your blood drops 10 degrees.
What'd you
You haven't
do?
violated anything.
Why are we doing bad things now? What? What's happening?
You work at a licensed school. You pay your taxes. You've never overstayed a single day. You call your school's administrative office. They tell you they received a similar inquiry from immigration and that they'll provide supporting documents, but they can't attend the interview with you. You're on your own. You go to the interview.
God.
The officer behind the desk has the emotional warmth of a filing cabinet. He asks you questions.
Gotcha. If I was in this situation, me personally, I would actually shit my pants. I don't think I would be able to like talk to confrontation like that. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? I'm just a little pussy. Yeah, okay.
About your
Thanks.
employment, your income, your daily activities. Then he asks
It's
if
true,
you've
though.
been engaged in any work outside your visa's authorized scope. You say no. He slides a document across the table. It's a report. An anonymous
Private, undeclared lessons, cash payments, full something, 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 cash records, lack of refusion of one of payments, lack of records. What is
tip
that?
filed with Immigration Services alleging that you've been conducting private English lessons for cash payments outside your contracted school. The report is detailed. It lists times, dates, and descriptions of students entering your apartment
No,
building.
not Yamamoto. If it's Yamamoto, I'm actually gonna. Oh
the
my god.
evenings. The students, of course, don't exist. Nobody
thank
has
the
entered
Lord.
your apartment, except you and one person. The person who would have seen your door from his door. The person who knows your schedule. The person who handed you tamagoyaki and taught you the word for friend. The officer tells you the investigation is ongoing, but your visa renewal has been suspended pending resolution. You walk out of that building feeling like the sidewalk has been pulled out from under your feet. You go home, and you stand in the hallway between your door and Yamamoto-san's door. You stare at his door for a long time, then you knock. He opens it with the same smile, the same warmth. You ask him directly, in the best Japanese you can manage, if he reported you. His face doesn't change. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't even look guilty.
What?
He simply explains, in a calm and measured tone, that the ward office offers a civic cooperation incentive for residents who report immigration violations. It's not much. About
Yo. My heart just sank. Guys, chat. My heart literally just sank. Sank. I thought Yamamoto was a W man's. I've been spamming the W's for this man. And he rips my heart out and fucking puts it on the floor and takes a shit all over it.
30,000 yen per verified report. He's filed 4. 1 every 2 months since you moved in. 120,000 yen total. He filed the first one 2 weeks after he gave you the tamagoyaki. You stand in his doorway, and your brain does the math on autopilot, because that's what brains do when the heart can't process what's happening. 120,000 yen. That's roughly $800. He sold your trust for $800.
Your life was sold for $800. Imagine that. Imagine. Oh my god. Are you fucking serious?
Every miso soup, every baseball game, every word he taught you, every moment you thought you were being seen by another human being in this city of 14 million strangers. All of it was an investment in keeping you close enough to report on. You weren't his friend. You were his revenue stream. The tamagoyaki wasn't kindness. It was customer retention. You don't yell. You don't cry. You walk back to your apartment and close the door. You sit on the floor next to Kenji the plant and stare at the wall
Fucking
the same way you did
depression.
on your first night. Except now the wall has a poster on it and the floor has a table and the room has 8 months of a life that's about to be erased. The investigation takes 6 weeks. Your school tries to support you, but the bureaucratic machinery doesn't care about character references. It cares about documentation.
Oh, no, that for freaking official approval clean record thing. Is this the one that he fucking sent Yamamoto?
And the documentation says there are 4 filed reports from a Japanese city.
Ah, it is. Fuck you, Yamamoto. Oh
Listen,
my god.
With no prior false claims. Your
That
word
actually
against
sank
his.
my heart.
Except it's not your word against his. It's a foreigner's word against a citizen's word. And in that equation, the math was decided
You're
before
not one of
you
them.
walked into the room. Your visa is revoked. You're given 2 weeks to leave the country voluntarily before deportation proceedings begin. Voluntary departure, they call it. As if there's anything
Get your bags. Get your ass out of here. We don't want you no more. That's basically what they're saying. That's so sad. So sad for
voluntary
this
about
man.
being told the life you built
gonna
doesn't
name him
belong to
Charlie.
you anymore.
Sounds like
You
a Charlie.
pack your suitcase, the same one
Charlie.
you arrived with.
Hey, poor Charlie in the chat, man. Poor Charlie.
Except now it's heavier because it contains 8 months of accumulated things that meant something. a Japanese textbook with notes in the margins, a festival charm from the Matsuri. The chopsticks Yamamoto-san gave you on your birthday. You hold the chopsticks
On your birthday too? He's a little fucking, oh my god, emotional damage for
a
sure.
moment, and then you put them in the trash. You leave the furniture because you can't take it and you can't sell it in 2 weeks. You leave Kenji the plant on the windowsill because plants can't fly. You cancel your phone plan. You close your bank account. You eat your last meal at Matsuya, and the night shift worker looks at you like he wants to say something, but doesn't, because that's how things work in this city. People notice your absence, but nobody intervenes in your presence. On your last night, you walk through Kita-senju one final time. The streets are quiet. The konbini glows on the corner. The train rumbles overhead.
These guys, if you don't know about 7-Elevens or these, like, I guess, quote unquote, gas station shops. It's not really gas station. I forgot what they're even called, but 7-Elevens. I think there's also like, there's another store. I forgot, but oh my god, the food is actually genuinely really nice. Like I'm not lying. But in Korea, it's a lot smaller and there's less seating areas and a little bit less options. Japan, those are the only 2 countries I've gone to that had these, but Japan's is actually elite.
The Sentu is closed for the night, but the steam still rises from the vents. You pass the spot where Yamamoto-san took you during the festival. You pass the vending machine where you bought your first canned coffee at 2 in the morning after a shift and thought for the first time that maybe this could work. You walk and you realize the cruelest thing about Tokyo isn't the loneliness or the language barrier or the cost or the bureaucracy. It's that the city let you love it. It let you build something. It let you feel the specific warmth of belonging that only exists when you've earned it from scratch in a place that owes you nothing.
Damn, that's so sad.
And then it let one man with a 30,000 yen incentive take it all away. And the city didn't even flinch. You take the Narita Express the next morning. You sit in the window seat and watch Tokyo shrink behind you. The skyscrapers, the train lines, the neighborhoods, the millions of lives being lived in tiny apartments stacked on top of each other like filing cabinets full of stories nobody will ever read. You land back home. Your mom picks you up at the airport. She hugs you and says she's glad you got that out of your system. She means it with love, but it hits like a verdict. That's what it was to everyone back home. A phase. Something you needed to flush out before you came back and got serious. Nobody asks about Yamamoto-san. Nobody asks.
A phase? Honestly, it was less than a year. I understand if it's like a quote unquote phase, but holy Jesus. You go home, Charlie goes home back to depression, basically.
About the Matsuri or the Sentu or the beef bowl worker.
Because nobody asked him for anything.
Nobody asks because none of it registers as real to people who've never tried to build a life somewhere that wasn't designed for them. The apartment in Kita-senju sits empty. The landlord cleans it out in a single afternoon. The poster comes down. The table gets donated. Kenji, the plant dies within a week because nobody waters it. The plastic bathroom cube
Not Kenji.
Grubbed. The walls get repapered. Within a month, a new tenant moves in. Maybe a student. Maybe a salaryman.
Oh my god, now we got Sean. We got Charlie and Sean.
With a one-way ticket and a plan. Yamamoto-san knocks on the new neighbor's door. He's holding a plate of
This guy's a fucking Fed.
He smiles with the same warmth.
Fuck,
The
I hate this
cycle
guy.
begins again.
Fuck you,
And
Yamamoto.
Tokyo keeps spinning, completely unbothered. Because in a city of 14 million people, one disappeared foreigner
That's why your son doesn't talk to you. Oh my god, you're right, chat.
isn't a tragedy. It's just a vacancy. That wraps it up for today. The story you just heard is fiction, but if you've ever lived alone in a foreign country, you know that the loneliest moments aren't the ones where nobody talks to you. They're the ones where someone does, and you find out it was never real. If this one hit different, drop a comment and tell me which part stayed with you. I've got more stories like this coming, so hit.
Damn, chat. Oh my god, that was actually a good video. I low-key kind of felt invested into Charlie's life like that. Oh my god, poor Charlie. Fucking Yamamoto, man. Oh my god, that guy snaked us. Oh my.